Peace. Brought to you by I Am Phenomenal Unlimited. This is the Speak Your Mind podcast. Peace. Brought to you by I Am Phenomenal Unlimited. This is the Speak Your Mind podcast, hosted by the Queen, Shanice Gatewood Ali, and the God, I Be. Speak Your Mind, an open line podcast delves into the week's current events, trending topics, and the social issues that affect Black people in America.
Peace, peace, peace. We are back. We are back.
Yes. How are you?
Peace. We are back. We are back. This is the Speak Your Mind podcast with the Allis. We are back in the building. We got a beautiful, beautiful conversation for you today. As you can see, today I am representing with Save Our Streets, right? Save Our Streets is an organization in the Bronx that's doing great work. They're doing great work when it comes to gun violence in the Bronx. I'm also representing with my t-shirt, the No Talk Walk 2020 for mentors against drugs and guns through experience. The reason why I'm wearing these items today is because we are in a crisis right now in our streets, in our communities, and I want to bring awareness to the need for our people to get back in the streets and to take our streets back so that we can have safe streets for our families, our children, our elders, and everything in between. Peace.
Hey, peace. So, yes, you are definitely representing. So, what about the one behind you? What you representing back there? I see something. I Am Phenomenal Unlimited. Yeah. Tell us about that one.
Okay, so we started I Am Phenomenal Unlimited as a consulting agency here in the New York area. I Am Phenomenal Unlimited is a consulting, facilitating, program developing, and merchandising agency in the New York area. We are bringing definite and good programming for people who want to utilize things that can help the community. We are able to design these programs by taking and looking at the community and finding out what the community needs, doing a needs assessment, and then taking that information and creating a program that can fill that need. So that's
absolutely
I Am Phenomenal Unlimited. We're also doing merchandising. Like we was at the Black Business Expo in Pennsylvania a couple weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Can you tell them a little bit about that?
Listen, that expo was awesome. So we have a nice amount of merchandise. We have some new jackets that just came out for men, which is basically saying it's time to change the narrative, right? So we got jackets. Oh gosh, what we have? We had some books, our journal books. I Am Phenomenal journal book,
Right.
written by my sister, myself. We had some mittens, we had t-shirts, we had a gang of stuff, and we were super prepared, right?
That's a
so fact. It was over 70 some odd vendors out there. So that was a great experience. It was a Black expo. Like next year we'll be back masked up as well as we were that day. And we have more merchandise that's coming out. So I Am Phenomenal is definitely growing. We are working on great things.
Yeah, so anyway, today is Knowledge Born. Today is the 19th of September, Knowledge Born, all being born to knowledge cipher, all being born back to knowledge, right? Knowledge is the accumulation of facts and information. To be born is to be complete. When you add that knowledge to the cipher, it should increase you. It should bring something positive to the cipher so that when you get to the next level, which is to add that knowledge to the cipher, when you get to that next level and start that cipher again, you're not starting from zero. You're starting with everything that came through that process. So when we go back to knowledge, we're starting again, not at level 1, but at the next level of enlightenment. So today I want to introduce to you some very, very important guests. These brothers right here are brothers that I look up to because they're doing positive, community work and have been doing it probably before I was born. So I definitely got to show love and respect to these brothers, man, because I see them out there and, you know, they're always welcoming. They showed me big love when I came down here to Harlem. And, you know, I consider these brothers my uncles. So, you know, everybody be like, yo, I didn't know he was your uncle. I'm like, yeah, listen, that's my uncle right there. Those are my adopted uncles. So I don't care what y'all say, I'm taking them. And that's what it is. So the first brother is the unofficial. Matter of fact, he's the official mayor of Harlem. That's what a lot of people call him, right? People call this man the mayor of Harlem. He is a connector, not a separator. And, you know, I got ultimate respect for this brother. So first I'm going to read his bio. His bio is, the brother's name is Mcphee. His bio. Mcphee is a native of Harlem and well connected to the community through various organizations. As a member of the community of Independent Community Action and All-Star Talent Network, he has gotten the word out to our youth and adults through free civic classes, free plays, and seminars to help aid them in their development. Coalition for Parole Restoration for 25 years, Mark has advocated for fair parole practices, hosting protest rallies across the state of New York, assisting families and the formerly incarcerated with re-entry and writing for the Deuce Club newspaper, which was distributed in all upstate prisons. Circle of Brothers seek positive changes in our community, helping to curb violence among our youth, assist our elders to deal with the help of brothers in recovery. We are phenomenal women, peacemakers, and Black Spades and others. We host our Youth Solutions and Survival Summit and Kwanzaa event every year. Mark Mcphee, along with the fallen brother, Akil Rose, respect to him, is also a member of the Harlem Liberation School, Harlem Emergency Network, Families United for Solutions, and Michelle Obama Democratic Club. He is also the chairman of Celebrate Thy Brother alumni. Each year, the Woman in the Collective award brothers who are doing positive work in the community designed to reclaim, restore, and renew. Image of the Black man, thus changing the paradigm. This year, we honor another prospective host, community activist Reggie Mitchell, who is also going to be on our panel today. But right now, we're saluting our brother and giving him his flowers. Salute to the mayor of Harlem, Mark Mcphee. Peace.
Yes.
Brother. Peace. Mark, what's good?
Peace.
How you doing today?
I doing fine, Daniel.
Yes.
So next we want to introduce our next big official brother. You can see this brother all the time
Right.
on 25th Street, right there in front of the Adam Clayton Powell statue. He's right there, you know, doing his vendoring. But better yet, you can see this brother always hosting community events, suited and booted, talking his talk on that microphone. He's also a radio host. This brother right here, he does so much. He's a traveling man. So let me introduce this brother by reading his bio. His name is Reggie Mitchell. Brother Reggie, as he is called, is an audio tech engineer of the radio station WHCR 90.3, Another Perspective, a public affairs talk show that is highly acclaimed. Brother Reggie holds the position of community liaison for Brothers in Recovery, a not-for-profit men's organization based in the village of Harlem. Brother Reggie is a certified recovery peer advocate, which I am too, focusing on substance misuse and health while promoting multiple pathways to recovery through peer support. He is also a life coach and motivational speaker. Brother Reggie is a veteran. Salute. Having having served 20 years in the U.S. Army, retiring in 2011. Brother Reggie is a two-time Community Service Award recipient, as well as 2019 TFN Media Award recipient and 2020 Celebrate Thy Brother Award winner. Brother Reggie can be found rallying for youth rights while co-hosting his many youth summits throughout the city. Brothers in Recovery, along with Brother Reggie, Community Insight, host their annual free, you hear that, free holiday Thanksgiving feeding, annual free back to school, and free back to school community cookouts, which are always satisfying in the various communities we serve. So without further ado, I want to introduce Brother Reggie.
Peace. Peace. Peace to my black people. Peace to my black people.
Peace,
Peace.
peace, peace. It is
Peace.
so great to have you brothers in attendance today. My heart is full. So tell us how y'all doing today.
Oh, we doing great.
Well, tell me a little more, man. Tell me how was your morning? Did you eat some breakfast? Hope you didn't eat no pork or nothing like that.
No pork on my fork.
There
You
you
know
go.
there used to be a restaurant on Seventh Avenue
Yep.
called No Pork on My Fork.
I used to love
Yeah.
that restaurant. That's
I
where I
tell
got my
you,
first chicken cheese steak.
brother Mcphee, it's good to see you as always. I love you, brother.
I
Oh.
love you too. It's good to be seen and not viewed.
Yes,
That's
sir, brother.
right.
That's right.
Amen to
How was
that.
your morning, Uncle Mark? What you eat for breakfast?
I had an egg sandwich.
Oh, that's
Egg sandwich.
well. I'm right now. I'm drinking a Irish Moss made by the beautiful Shanice Gatewood Ali.
Ooh, I gotta get with that. I
Mm-hmm.
gotta get with that. I had a whole wheat uh, 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 Thomas's English muffin
Okay.
and
Oh,
Okay.
that's old school.
and a cup of orange juice.
And a cup
Okay.
of orange juice.
All
Wow.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I made Irish moles for Mr. Ali, and I also made a smoothie for my grandson, for our grandson.
Wow.
try to
Okay,
keep
that's
try to
great.
keep our men healthy around here.
That's right. That's right.
That's a fact. So we're gonna talk about a couple current events. One of the main things that just happened on Thursday is that they arrested a gunman that shot a young lady on
Mm-hmm.
128th Street. So they got the article here. I'm gonna read part of the article and we can talk about that. So it says here, and this is put out by Channel 7 Eyewitness News. Alleged gunman arrested in pregnant woman's death in Manhattan, Thursday, September 16th. Right? It says in Harlem, police have arrested the man accused of shooting and killing his pregnant ex-girlfriend in Harlem as she came home from her baby shower. Authorities said 40-year-old Justin Soriano was taken into custody in the Bronx Thursday morning. Our warrant guards are second to none in the city and tracking down people through numerous investigative leads, interviewing witnesses, help from the community. We tracked down to an acquaintance house in the Bronx and we apprehended him on Carlisle Place, said Chief of Detectives James E. Sick. Police say Soriano got into a dispute with 31-year-old Shanice Young's current boyfriend at West 128th Street and Frederick Douglass Boulevard early Sunday. Young's father said that Soriano was the father of the unborn child. However, police said they have not been able to determine who the father of the child is, and that was likely the nexus of the dispute between the two men. The victim's father said they broke up about 2 months ago and there was a domestic violence situation involved. They did not have any other children together. Authorities say Soriano shot Young in the head while another of her daughters watched.
Yep.
And her unborn baby both died. She was 8.5 months pregnant. Police publicly identified Soriano earlier this week, asked for the public help in locating him. Young was taking the gifts into her building lobby when the police said the fight broke out between the two men. Soriano has an extensive criminal history with 17 prior arrests. He is charged with murder, criminal possession of a weapon, acting in major injurious, um, acting in major injurious to a child, and menacing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That's so sad to hear that
Yes.
128th Street, I don't know, for some reason, this is the second incident that happened on 128th Street. Um, you know, because I'm an activist for domestic violence, I have the nonprofit organization We Are Phenomenal Women, and We Are Phenomenal Women is more of an educational piece. We want to educate people on it, but if people do not come out and say that they are in a domestic violence relationship or they feel like they are in one, or now they're not in one, it's so sad to hear these things before after it happened, after it happened. um I don't even know what to say. And you know what's so crazy? It's so many cameras out here.
Mm-hmm.
Do we not watch the news? They're going to catch you. Either way, they're going to catch you. Either it's a week from now, 2 months from now. Either way, you're going to get caught. And when you get caught, you're going to jail, because now that you didn't just kill the mother, you killed an unborn baby. She was 9 months. So that baby was totally developed already. So I don't understand, why do we allow our anger, and that's what it is. Our anger just allow us to take us to another level. And not to mention, you got to have hate if you just want to off somebody like that. There's no way in the world you love somebody, you just want to kill them. I don't understand it. That whole, I remember back in the day, we used to hear stuff like, if I can't have you, nobody else can. Well, god darn, how about this? Like, that need to be changed. You'd rather kill somebody before you allow them, before you see them with somebody else. But what about you? Where you going? You going to hell, you going to jail, and you're going to be there for a very long time. So if you have children anywhere else, if you got a family anywhere else, you just took away you from the family, and then that mother from her kids. That it does not make any sense. I don't know if it's a mental health issue. I don't know, but something is obviously wrong with these killings that's constantly going on in our neighborhoods. And it's not just here, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And with that, I'm gonna leave that right there, and I just want to get y'all opinion and how y'all feel about it.
Well, I think I'll go with this first. First of all, I need to say thank you, Queen Ali, for all the work that you are doing in this field.
Thank you.
And that's why the work has to continue, because
Yeah.
these type of situations are going to continue to happen. They're not new. They
No.
were happening when I was a kid in my neighborhood. That this rage and this anger and this jealousy, the training is what's missing here. The
Mm,
counseling, the you break up, and you want to stalk the individual once you break up. Your emotions are all wrapped up in this. The brother, he was just running on sheer emotion and anger. He wasn't
mhm.
running on anything else. He wasn't running on any kind of common sense.
Right.
Forget cameras, forget destroying both lives, because now he destroyed her life and all of her family members or
Yeah.
whoever, and he destroyed his life and anybody attached to him and his family members. And that's sometimes we don't see that part.
Right.
We just think we're just destroying one life, one person's going to jail, and one person is dead, but the
No.
both lives are going to be destroyed
Yeah.
for who knows how long. This is a horrific crime,
Right.
horrific, and it's our people once again, in
Hmm.
our communities once again. This is the reason why I continue to do this work with the youth, with the sisters, the training, the counseling, the mental health counseling, the substance misuse counseling. It's all entwined. And
Yeah.
and I just, my heart goes out to both families. My heart goes out to both families.
Right.
And because I've been an ex before,
Hmm.
but I didn't do none of that because I'd already saw it being done. And I said, no, I'm never going to go that route. And I would
Right.
tell my friends, some of the brothers in my life, and they would break up and they would be angry. And I'd be like, listen, brother, let's talk about this. Let's not make this into a thing where you got to stand outside her building to find out who she's with. She's not with you no more. It didn't work out with you.
Right.
Okay. You got kids together or whatever the case may be. Let's do something different. Let's change the narrative. So
Amen to
that's
that.
that's where I see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Brother Mark.
I want to say kudos to you and the work of We Are Phenomenal Women. I also want to say kudos to the community,
Hmm.
because it was the community who did this.
Hmm.
Because too many times we have situations where our babies are being killed. But
Mhm.
because we have this thing in the community, no snitching, no talking to the police, then a lot of the perpetrators of these acts of domestic violence get to go free.
Hmm.
I have to ask, what kind of man pulls out a gun and shoots the mother of his child in front of her other children. That's not a manly behavior. And so, like Brother Reggie, I have to say that we have to reach these young men before they reach their tipping point. And so I'm grateful for my brother, Derek Phillips, who started the Real Dads Network some 20 years ago, because there are brothers who are dealing with issues of not being able to be in their children's lives. But like Brother Reggie said, we have to find a positive way to deal with this. And so my condolences goes to this young woman who happens to bear the name of yours, Shanice, and to her family. And I hope that these acts of violence against our women would come to an end.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's sad.
I want to say that, right? We have to understand as men who are currently the stakeholders in the community, right? I'm talking about people in my age group, right? That are currently middle age. We have children, may even have grandchildren. It's time for us to take a stand on these issues. We have to stop being silent on these issues in our community, right? There's a big thing going on right now with another brother that's in the conscious community that they say have been dealing, that got caught up with a underage child that was 14 years old. They accused him of rape and having his semen on this young girl. But a lot of people have not spoken out about this issue that were currently with that person. You understand what I'm saying? They was supporting this person, they was rolling with this person, interviewing this person, whatever, so have you. There's no time to be silent at this time. Even if we don't know what the outcome of the trial is going to be, at this time we have to take a stand against these acts in our community in all forms. Because if it's your daughter, then you will want somebody to support you. I have a daughter right now that's 17 years old, and if something like that happened to her, I'm not. Listen, man, we're not gonna play those games, right? So if I notice somebody around me in my circle or anywhere in my neighborhood is doing these acts, we're coming out against those things.
That's right.
Because
That's
it's
right.
wrong. We have to save our own streets. There's nobody that's gonna come and save them for us.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I remember there was a time when the Muslims used to patrol the streets, the FOI.
Yes.
You know, we would take back our corners. You know, I remember Mosque Number 7 doing that, and I remember various mosques all over the tri-state doing that. We've kind of gotten away from that, but we need to take back our streets. We need to patrol our own streets. You know, we also need to work with the NYPD. They have a community affairs department, and I have a lot of meetings with them at the 2-8 precinct, and I happen to know a few of them, you know, as real, you know, decent individuals. Every NYPD officer is not out to gun down a young black. You know, some of them actually care, but we need to care more.
Right.
We need to put the ones that live in our community in our community. Stop importing them from Long Island and Suffolk County, and they come to our communities. They don't care nothing about us. But we need to take back our streets. We need to form our own coalition and take back our streets. You know who's coming into our blocks. Know where the folks are in the buildings that are selling the guns. Because we know Jamal is bringing guns in from Atlanta, and he's bringing them to the neighborhood, and he's selling them to Pepe down the street. But we don't want to say nothing. I grew up in the projects. I know how this goes down. This goes down just like that. But we got to be willing to do something about it, you know. And sometimes fear won't allow us.
It's true.
Retaliation won't allow us. But hey, we got to do something if we really believe in the cause.
Right. And you know, we was watching a few shows that yesterday we watched this movie called Karen, you
Yes,
know,
I
and
saw it.
that was like
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that explains a lot. Then we watched the internet brothers who is talking about this brother named Polite that we brother Ali just spoke about, and you know, and then we watched another one last night, and the brother said the men are forgetting to be masculine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like soon as you start, and I think now the community, we are losing ourselves, because as soon as we speak on something that other people don't like, you're being anti this, you being anti that. But I remember you used to have opinion, and you voice your opinion. Nowadays they just want to hush you up by saying you anti this, you anti that. What happened to debating? What happened to, I listen to you, you listen to me? With that brother who shot that young lady, if somebody, a real man, was in his life, he would have at least told him, brother, don't do that. And let him see all the things that can happen if he do that. But he was like, once again, it's jealousy, it's the rage, and sisters. I'm going to tell you guys, yeah, beautiful queens, when you are arguing with your mate, don't and he's angry, stop calling him the B word. You bitch nigga. That all thing that does is just hyper his temperature. Let's be honest. If Mr. Ali and I is arguing, he called me the B word, which he don't, and that's gonna hyper my stuff. So why do you do that? Why do we do these things? Why do we just put our mates down? Why do the men do it? That's why I started this. I'm trying to do the clothing line and make a statement, right? The statement is, don't call me the N-word. Call me a king. Call me queen. No more bees. This is what we need to do. We need to change that narrative. Stop with that. I mean, and I talked about Fat Joe. I don't know if we're going to talk about Fat Joe right now, but I talked about Fat Joe when he was on the stage and he called on the verses, and he called them ladies crackhead bees and da 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 da. That's not cool. Like, I understand you was in a hype of hip hop and all that, but you could have left that part out. You could have left that part out.
Battling the ladies.
He wasn't battling
the
dudes. He was battling Ja Rule.
Right.
So at the end of the day, we need to start either we block people, like Brother Polite. I want to have Brother Polite on our Speak Your Mind podcast because he could bring money in. Nobody cares about your money. It's about respect for the woman. Okay, the stuff that you're doing is not right. And back in the day when I was growing up, they would have beat his behind by now. They don't care about his money. They would have whipped his ass. Let's be for real. Okay, 147th Street, where I used to live at, them dudes did not play. Nobody cannot come on in our block and disrespect any of the females. I live on 40th. At the same thing, they don't play. They did not play. Now our neighborhoods got taken over by these disrespectful children, majority of them, disrespectful children, and they bring guns to these fights. Like, nobody don't fight no more. Everybody just want to kill somebody. No, just take this L, or I take my L, and I sit down. That's it. Now they just want to shoot them up, bang, bang, and that's it. I mean, come on. I don't know what's going on, but enough of that. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is how I get in the house. I'm sorry.
So how you see that, Uncle Mark?
Well, I want to say this. I am repping this shirt that says it takes a village, the Black Spades, for calling for a gang-free zone. And I recall last year, my brother, one of the greatest rappers that ever lived, Melly Mel, he said that we in our community have to stop making excuses. There was a sister who was verbally attacked on Facebook because she asked a question. In the midst of all the violence that was taking place, she said, Black lives have to matter to us. Why is it that we're only concerned when there's violence by white officers against black people. We need to be just upset when Ray Ray and Pookie go shooting up the neighborhood. And so, yes, we have to defend our women. And we also have to be able to step to those brothers in the community that's not doing the right thing. We need to be able to tell them, look, this gang banging stuff, it's over. Get a new hustle. And we cannot allow, once upon a time, Shanice, you talk about the brothers on 147. There was a time when OGs would snatch up a young punk and say, yo, I heard there was some shooting in the schoolyard. That's not cool, young brother. You don't take your fight to where the kids are at. You got a beef with somebody, you deal with that person hand to hand and man to man. You do not go shooting up the community. And if this happens again, then the OGs are going to come out, and they're going to come out strong, and there will be repercussions. Because there's ramifications for your actions. So either you put yourself in check, or we're going to put you in check. And we're going to eliminate you. And we got to get back to that.
Thank you, brother. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Wow.
Hey, man. So, I know this is a touchy subject, and I came up, I'm not even gonna lie, I came up upstate New York. My father always taught me how to shoot guns. You understand what I'm saying? So I had my BB gun, I go out in the woods, I shoot any animal that was out there, I shoot up little targets I have in my yard or whatever. But as I grew up, I just always was akin to guns. I always had guns. So it really wasn't nothing for me to carry that from that part to carry that over into adulthood, where I had pistols and was walking around the community with pistols and getting into gunfights and so forth and so on. It was also glorified by the music and the culture, right? And then when I started to become a drug dealer, then I had to protect myself in the streets against other drug dealers. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the part of the culture that many of us do not speak about. But if it's something that is condoned by your peers and something that is going on in your community on a frequent basis, because we have the community that spoke about in the general public, and how, it's all of this Western culture and all of this police force and all of this stuff that people talk about like it's such a great neighborhood. That's cool on the outside and on the news and all that. But what we really have to talk about is what's going on in the back alley, in that back building, and on those back blocks, right? Because the thing is jumping off back there. So when I say it's time to save our streets, I'm saying that our brothers, we have to actually get out there in those streets, in those back blocks, in those places where the youth is at, and in those places where things are going down at. So that's peace. But I want to move on to the next topic, right? The next topic is the FDA. Yesterday, the FDA put out a recommendation, right? They was trying to put out booster shots. They were trying to recommend booster shots for the jab that's currently going on, for the people who took the jab, people who did not take the jab. They wanted people who took the jab to take booster shots. And the FDA has denied that. They saying that the only people that they want to have booster shots are people that are older and people that are immunocompromised. So this article right here is from The Hill, and it says Fauci on FDA advisors booster recommendations. I don't think they made a mistake. Dr. Fauci said Sunday that he thinks that the Food and Drug Administration advisory panel made a good recommendation to give COVID-19 booster shots only to older and higher risk Americans. I don't think they made a mistake, Fauci, who serves as the President Biden's chief medical advisor, said on CNN State of the Nation. They came up with a recommendation, which I think is a good recommendation. Fauci said, I am 80 and an elderly person and certainly eligible. I will certainly get a booster, he added. Fauci also weighed in on arguments from people who say vaccine mandates should not apply to them after they have already been infected with COVID-19. it is true that they do have protection. The one thing we are not aware of yet, and hopefully we'll get that data, is what the durability of protection is. He said. Fauci added that people should not plan to get their booster shots prior to receiving government approval. So this is an ongoing conversation, right?
Yes.
So the reason why I brought this up is because currently we have people that are mandated to have vaccination before they go to work, right? So if they would approve the booster situation, would that mean that they would be mandated to get the booster as well?
I'm sure.
This would be an ongoing thing where they would have to constantly get these shots every so amount of months, right? And the FDA, luckily, they said that this is something that doesn't have enough data. It doesn't have enough data for them just to be giving everybody these booster shots, and they're only recommending it for people who are immunocompromised and older at this point in time. So I think that was a good decision, because we should at least give it to people that have no other choice. But when there's a situation and it's people that are healthy and they're being mandated for them to continually be given this treatment, then I don't think that would be fair. What's your view on that?
Mark?
Well, right now as we speak, I know people who are being threatened that if they don't take the shot, they would lose their employment.
Yeah.
I think, like you, brother, that it's a step in the right direction for those who are immunocompromised. The school system just went back to work. Just went back to school. And in East Harlem at PS 79, 19 children have come down with the virus. Ooh. So we have to ask ourselves this question that Brother Ali often talks about: health disparities. These children can very well be the children and the offsprings of those parents who have health disparities. And so we have to be mindful of weighing the law. What is the law? But what are the people's rights? And many people don't know their rights. And when you don't know your rights, you'll be forced into a situation that you don't want to be in. And so that's why it's important that we not only follow the science, but we also need to have some type of legal representation, because I may have some type of illness that prevents me from getting the shot in the first place. Right. And if I take that shot can very well kill me. But if I have to feed my family, don't make me make a choice. And we have people in the medical field as well as teachers that are walking away from teaching because they don't want to be mandated.
You know something, Brother Mark? You definitely said a mouthful, and you brought up the issue of the legalities versus the mandates, and that's what we're going to be up against. You know, I have 2 grandchildren who were kept home for a week and a half, just started school, and already they shut their school down because some kids contracted the virus, and they had to send everybody home, and that in turn made my son and my daughter-in-law have to stay home from their jobs as well, and they had to go get a test, COVID test, to go back to their jobs. So yeah, it is a thin line, and it's getting way out of hand.
It is.
I mean, and I heard one time the news was talking about they're going to turn this into just a regular common cold and the flu, that this is never going to go away. This is just going to be like some regular cold. You know, you get a shot, you know, you go to the doctor, you get some antibiotics, and listen, I got a couple of personal friends who were sent home from their jobs because they would not take the shot.
Wow.
And they're asking how they're going to feed their families, how they're going to eat. The last check is going to run out. Unemployment done already ran out for so many people. It is terrible, but it's also a personal decision.
Yeah,
it's very personable. This COVID shot, the testing, it's personal, you know. And
yeah,
I'm fully vaccinated based on my beliefs.
Right.
But there are some folks that are not going to get the shot based on their beliefs. They're going to be some conspiracy theorists. The situation is, and then you're going to have to say, well, can I buy bread, milk, and egg and cheese, or do I get the shot?
Right.
And
So
yes, go ahead, sister.
I'm sorry. So, please forgive me, but I have an issue, and this is me, my own personal opinion and how I feel about the ones who are vaccinated. I believe that because you could still catch it, that people still need to go and get their tests, right? Because they put this narrative out there, whereas all the people who are not vaccinated are the ones who spreading it. But if I'm not mistaken, the ones who are not vaccinated have, and they have to get a test every week.
Absolutely.
Right. So the ones who are vaccinated, they don't get tested and they don't wear no mask. I have an issue with that. So it's like a double-sided type of thing going on. And I just came from getting my test. I go every week. I'd rather know than not know. I'd rather I start eating, we do the ginger shots. I make that myself, the Irish moss, I make that myself. The smoothies and all these other things, I go on YouTube and I learn these things, how to make the stuff in the house so that we could always keep it going in the house. I have asthma. I should be the number one person to go and get it. But guess what? I get my test every week faithfully, and I don't mind that. I'm okay with that. It's just that I'm allergic to certain things, and I'm not against anybody who do it. Do your thing. That's for, like you said, this is your personal opinion. But for those who feel like they're about to lose their job, this is when your Black entrepreneurship should kick in.
Yes, absolutely. That's
Yo,
right. That's right.
because listen, we didn't have no manual when we built bridges and all this other stuff
That's
that
right.
we built in
We built the
this
pyramids
country,
and everything.
right?
That's right.
So with that being said, I just, whoever that's going through that, don't think that's the last of the last. It's not. It's not. You see, every week my husband be like, if you can't something else, I want a clothing line. I got my life coach. I'm going to school, and I'm not going to the school. I'm on school online. So that's another option that people do not think they have. So there's opportunities out there. I just don't want people to get stuck on constantly working for that man when you can be that man or that woman.
And on top of that, we are people of color. We still got to deal with that.
Amen to that.
You know what I'm saying? We still got to deal with people of color growing up in the wilderness of North America. Ain't that right, to God I be?
So brother Reggie and I, we belong to the Army of Alternatives.
Yes, we do.
And one of the things that Sister Shanice often say to our community is that we cannot wait for the pandemic numbers to rise. We have to begin to find alternate sources of income. Brother Reggie is a vendor, you heard him say. You talked about other streams of income such as merchandising. And so our community has to pick up the clues. What have we learned since March 2020? If you know that corporate America is not going to save you and your job is not going to be your savior, what is it that you do?
That's right.
That can turn into another source of income. What talents do you have? You have to always make sure that you have a plan B.
That's right.
And so the Army of Alternatives, they tell people that there's some things that you need to put in place. That with this pandemic, do you have power of attorney? Do you have, do you have documentations so that, God forbid, if you get sick, what's going to happen to your children?
That's right.
Who do you have in line to take care of your children in the event that you are sick? You don't have to be dead, but you are sick and you cannot care for your children. More importantly, we
Right.
cannot rely, as my sister Queen Lo would say,
Queen Love.
they know. Because
Mhm.
we often say, well, if I get sick, my sister know what to do. My
That's not
grandmother,
true.
the grandmother will take over. But
Mm-mm,
do you have that in writing?
Right.
And so
mm-mm,
we have to make sure that we secure ourselves,
Mhm.
and that we have to always make sure that we have an insurance policy.
Mhm.
mm-hmm.
We have people who work jobs every day, but is not thinking about insurance.
Mm.
And we've come to think that a GoFundMe account is the way to bury people. That's one way of doing it if you have no other resources. But we have to get into the habit of speaking to someone like Brother Ali's brother, who can tell you that insurance is not just for death. It can
Mhm.
be a wealth building tool.
That's
And
right.
so we have to change the mindset of
Mm-hmm.
our community and not just falling for the okie doke.
Amen to that. That's the
Mm-hmm.
truth. Yes, we had Gerald Ali, my brother-in-law, my husband's brother, on talking about insurance. He's black owned
There you go.
business for
Mm-hmm.
30 some odd years. And it's funny because my little sister, she's one of my little sisters is on right now watching. And I sent them a screenshot. No, I sent them a picture of my insurance, right? Because I'm about to put money down for my life insurance. So my little sister said, "You and your random text messages." I said, "I just need y'all to know that I'm putting this in place." So they was like,
Mm.
"Yeah, yeah," and like I think people are not comfortable with talking about life insurance. I
Yeah.
remember my aunt passed away, and she had a a notebook of everything that she wanted to be done when she passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing my cousin had to do is just follow her book.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the money? What I want? What? How much you get? Everything, everything. And I said, damn, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense. So, I know, the God I be. You want to get into the questions, right?
Yeah, we're gonna get into the questions. I just want to say one last thing on this topic, and then we'll go to a commercial break, and we're gonna come back with the questions. But one thing that happened over the last week also is we seen the young lady Nicki Minaj, right,
Yes.
have a
Mm.
whole media fiasco because
Mm.
she spoke about her opinion on her social media page.
Mm-hmm.
Her opinion.
It's a crazy to me how
Yes.
at this point in time your personal opinion on your social media page can cause people from the president's office all the way to people in other countries to respond to you. We have people on top cable channels like MSNBC, Joy
Talking about her.
Reid, come out and speak out against what the young lady said. All of these people are putting so much merit in what people are saying, and also they want to censor anything that is alternative of opinion. And I
Mm.
think that that is a very dangerous and slippery slope to the point where people don't even want to talk about these things in public. They're creating this whole situation of the vaccinated versus the unvaccinated, and we will never come back to a common goal or a common structure of a common land if we keep bringing up all of these differences of opinion and making it so strong. If a person wants to make their personal choice, then they should be able to make their personal choice. But you should not be able to just come out against that person and beat them down for what they said. I don't think
Yeah.
that that's right and exact. If she said what she said, okay, she said what she said. But who are you to come out and say, oh, well, you're so wrong and you're this and you're that and you're dumb and you're stupid? That's one of the biggest things out here right now. If a person does not agree with this current opinion, then they are dumb and stupid, and they need to be sanctioned off of social media and this, that, and the third. I remember back a few years ago, I read this book called Galileo's Daughter,
Mm-hmm.
right? Galileo was one of the people who was a scientist and and a thought provoker back in the Middle Ages in England, right? Galileo. So listen, he was right. He was arrested and incarcerated, and while he was locked up, he was writing letters to his daughter, right? And the reason he was locked up is because he was saying that the earth revolves around the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point in time, the popular opinion was that the sun revolved around the earth. So he was about to be murdered, but he was incarcerated just for having an alternative opinion about the earth going around the sun. Now, this was a popular conception of that time, and they used biblical references to substantiate that opinion. However, come to find out, Galileo was right.
Mm.
So this is a mirror of today. How can we not? The scientific method is being able to question all things that are deemed as knowledge or theory. And by testing those knowledge and theories and seeing if they stand up to the test of time. If we can't test and question these things, then we're at a point where it's becoming political totalitarianism.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And that is a dangerous and slippery slope. So we're going to go to a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to interview our beautiful elders, the OGs of the Harlem neighborhood, Brother Mcphee and Brother Reggie Mitchell. So with that, I say peace, and we'll be back in a few.
Black women, all kinds of women in all walks of life, trying to get their life together, knowing that we don't need men to hurt us. We love ourselves first. You love yourself first, everything else will come after that. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this organization, WAPW. And
bunch of queens from WAPW that I can turn to anytime, day or night, and my queens have my back.
We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back.
I
Peace.
I miss being in, the whole everybody together. I miss that.
Yes, me
I
too.
really do.
Hugs.
Right. I really
Yes.
do miss that. I really do. I miss, because on Facebook or Zoom, if somebody's going through something, you can't
Right.
really do anything. I
Right.
mean, and sometimes we need that hug.
Oh, we lost her.
Mm.
She'll be coming back. Yeah, she's right though. We need that hug sometime. Like sometimes we need that person, that engagement, right?
Yes.
We need that engagement. That's one thing that this pandemic has taken away from us. The fact that people are scared to even touch each other anymore.
Hmm.
Like I don't
That's
even
right.
like giving handshakes, and when I do give a handshake, I gotta reach out for some hand sanitizer immediately.
Hmm.
Feel dirty, like yo. I don't know, man. Did this dude wash his hands? I gotta go wash my hands and
Mm.
all that. Like it's you feel icky now, man. What
Yeah,
y'all think about that?
PTSD.
Yeah, man, that thing is crazy. Because at this point in time, it's like, the way that this virus is set up, it's where it makes people anti-people,
Yes.
Mm.
if that makes sense.
Yes.
It just makes people anti-people. We don't want to be around people. Stay over there. If you cough across the street, we looking at you from across the street. Like, yo, you heard him cough? Let's go the other way. Like, for real, this thing is the change. Like, our social cohesion has been destroyed.
Another way to divide and conquer.
Yep,
But
it's true.
we're not gonna tie that up right now.
I
Now
know that's right. I know that's right. That's another
give our
conversation.
brothers their flowers.
Yes.
And I want to say, brothers, man, I salute you, brothers. You brothers are doing great work in the community. Every time I see you, you're doing something positive. You're not adding on to the nonsense like some people are, older people, and they still think that they are younger people, and they adding on to the nonsense, to talking about people backbiting, still think they in the street and all of this other stuff. No, when I see you brothers are upright. You doing some community work. You adding on. You making people around you smile and be happy. And I
Mhm.
really super salute that. So I definitely wanted to have you guys on here so we can ask y'all some questions and get some more insight into y'all background. So the first question that I want to ask y'all are, where are both of you from originally? And we can start with, hold up, who's older?
We might be around the same age. I don't
They
know.
probably neck to neck.
We, I think we're about almost the same age.
Yeah. So, Brother Reg, you can go first. I acquiesce to the elder.
Oh God, that's funny. Well, okay. I am originally, now this is going to surprise y'all. I am originally from Mount Vernon.
Oh,
I was
wow.
born in Mount Vernon Hospital in Westchester County. My whole entire family, 8 brothers and 6 sisters, we were all born in Mount Vernon Hospital.
Oh,
That's where we were
wow.
originally from, but we migrated to the Bronx when we were
Mhm.
young. So that's why a lot of times you might hear me say I'm from the Bronx, and then I migrated to Harlem, went back to the Bronx, came back to Harlem, went back to the Bronx. So
And
I'm
that.
originally from Mount Vernon,
Okay.
but I
See, we didn't know
represent the
that.
Bronx and Harlem.
Okay. Woo woo.
Right.
That's what's up.
Money earned in Mount Vernon, baby.
Absolutely. There you go.
Oh,
That's right.
no wonder you're like that.
That's right.
Get
Money earned in Mount
anything.
Vernon. A little country, little town in Mount Vernon. That's right.
Let you get anything. You
A
be
lot
like, you need that? I got you. I'm gonna call somebody right now.
That's right.
There's a lot of stars from Mount Vernon, though. But
Oh,
on to the
absolutely.
mark.
Denzel Washington was our
What?
next door neighbor,
Yep.
way
Oh,
before he would
wow.
ever be Denzel Washington.
Oh,
Okay.
We
uh,
had some celebrities, yes.
Heavy D.
Oh, yes. I
Heavy
love my
D,
heavy D.
Diddy,
Yeah.
the beatbox brother. What's his name again? The rapper with the beatbox.
Who?
Dougie
Dougie
Fresh.
Fresh?
Dougie
What?
Fresh, absolutely.
Okay.
Lot of brothers and sisters from Mount Vernon. Yeah.
Yes.
So
I'll
What?
be sure.
I'll
I'll
be
be sure.
sure.
Oh,
There
Okay.
you go.
I'll be sure
That's
that's a
right.
fact.
Chris Williams.
Christopher Williams.
What
Well,
about
look,
DMX?
he know more people from Mount Vernon than I'll ever know.
What was
DMX from
DMX?
Yonkers. DMX
Oh,
from
DMX
Yonkers.
from
Okay.
YO.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, so on to Brother Mark.
Wow.
Oh, I grew up in Harlem.
So you're
Harlem
originally
all
from
day,
Harlem.
every day. East Harlem.
Okay, where at?
Wow.
Right there on 120th to 124th Street, the village of Wagner.
Got
Wagner.
you.
Ooh,
Okay.
he said the
Rough.
village of Wagner.
Rough. It's funny how we know them for so long, we didn't even know that part. See,
Right.
that's why y'all want to speak your mind on podcast with the Allis today.
So the
Thank
next
y'all.
question is very important because, as I said, I look up to you, brothers, right? And I a lot of times I want to emulate different aspects of you, like Brother Mark. I always want to emulate that connector aspect of Brother Mark, right? I always want to bring people in, one person
Together.
on this side of the room and this person on this side of the room, and bring them together to see how they can make this thing work. And Brother Reggie, I definitely respect that hustle, and I definitely respect that personality that you are, with that big personality, how you was able to get on the mic in that room and have everybody laughing and feeling good. I like that, man. So I'm a little, I'm a little introspective. Like, I'm more into myself. Like, I don't really get into the getting on the mic and all that, but I definitely want to emulate that aspect of you. But one question I wanted to ask y'all is, who is that person that you looked up to growing up, or who is your mentor?
Well, I had several mentors, from Sister Betty, Malcolm's queen. But there were people in the community like Mr. Larry Black. Mr. Larry Black was an officer, and his son had the best of everything. But he taught his son Larry to share. So if Larry had a bike, I had a bike. His father took us fishing. He taught us how to fly airplanes and model cars. And he was the person who, when I went to college, he took me to the corner and he said, "You see those brothers there selling drugs?" He said, "You go ahead to school and get your education, because when you come back, they'll be doing the same thing." He said, "The names may change, but the game remains the same. So, son, you go on and get your education." So he was a mentor, and I love him to this day for that. He was the Furious Styles of my time.
For those who don't know, Furious Styles is the father from Boys in the Hood that actually took the brothers to the neighborhood and spoke about the different aspects of the neighborhood and put them onto the game of white supremacy and so forth and so on. But Brother Reggie.
Wow. Mentors and people I looked up to. Wow. In my community, it was actually the neighborhood firefighters. There was a fire department right across the street from my neighborhood in the South Bronx, and they would take us fishing. They would let us come into the firehouse, and they would teach us stuff. They would teach us about fire awareness and how to get out and what to do and stuff like that. So they became an intricate part. I found myself hanging around the fire department a lot. It was the most, you would never think that, but I found myself hanging around a lot. It kept me away from the gangs for a little while. But at some point, I did gravitate towards the gangs, and I gravitated towards the older, slick, high-profile cats in the neighborhood with the fancy shoes and the fancy suits, the gaiters, the pepper silks, the shark skins, the live shot knits. So I gravitated towards them because they always had something real slick to say with their newspaper under their arm. And I gravitated towards them, and then it became the Nation of Islam. I found myself in the Nation of Islam at the age of 14 years old. And me and my sister used to sell the fish. And they had the cases of fish. We would go door to door selling fish for the mosque. The mosque was right there on, what was it, Morris Avenue in the Bronx. There was a mosque over there, like back in the 70s. And we would go there. I would have my bow tie on and my suit. My sister would have a head garb on. And we were like 14, 13 years old. And I marveled at the FOI. I mean, I marveled at them for many years up until this day. But my community service, is that another segment, the community service part?
Yes. We'll get it.
Okay. So those are the people
that you looked up to.
Me. Yes.
Wow. That's deep. I think my dad was a 5%er. My dad, I remember seeing him. Yeah. I remember seeing my father. Yep, I do. That's amazing. And I do remember. I think you mentioned how they was out in them streets and making sure they had the safetyness of the community. I remember seeing that. I definitely do. Oh man, we need to get back to that stuff. But I'm
That's
gonna
right.
ask the next question. So I want to ask you, both of y'all, what made you get into doing community work? So, Brother Mark.
Well, you know what? Um, there was a young man by the name of Ralph Carter. You know him as Michael of Good Times.
Mm-hmm.
1980, when Stevie Wonder was getting legislation signed to make Martin Luther King a national holiday, my mom thought I was too young to go to Washington, D.C. And so I went to Brooklyn and I met Ralph Carter. And I also met this young minister by the name of Al Sharpton. And
Mm-hmm.
so I stayed in contact with Ralph over the years. And I saw that the character that he played on Good Times was pretty much who he was in real life.
Wow.
And so there were things that were taking place in my community that as a young man, I started gravitating toward trying to make things right. And
Mm-hmm.
so I have to say that Ralph was one of my influences.
Wow.
Wow. You got me beat because I thought you was gonna say I kill Rose.
He
Well, the
was.
show came down the later on
Line.
down the line.
Okay.
Wow. It had to be my uncle, Billy Thomas. He was the director of the Boys and Girls Club
Mm-hmm.
up in Mount Vernon, South Side of Mount Vernon, South Side. That was the rough side.
Mm-hmm.
And he always had the young men and the young women coming into the boys club, just getting them off the streets, and he is the young man whom on a yellow school bus, he's driving the school bus and Denzel Washington gets on the bus. I don't know if you ever saw that
What?
commercial.
I
Well,
think
that's my uncle,
so.
Billy Thomas.
Really? We're
Yes,
gonna
he's
look
still
it up.
alive. He has a street named after him in Mount Vernon right now, Billy Thomas Way.
Nice. You
And
see
he also
that?
has a museum, art gallery in Mount Vernon as well. He's still alive and he's still doing the work. He was one of my biggest influences for doing community service. But as I came to the Bronx more and more and more, and as I got much older, a gentleman named Leland McGee, y'all might know McGee. He's the president of the 28th Precinct Council. He's the one who got me into all the service work that I do. When I retired from the Army 10 years ago, he got me
Mm-hmm.
into service work, and I looked up to him because he could do no wrong. He was always helping somebody, always. And he took me along with him through the
Mm-hmm.
streets of Harlem, the Bronx, whatever. He would send me to people and call them up and say, I'm sending somebody to help you. His name is Reggie. I vouch for him. And that's how I got into service.
Nice. You see that? Wow. So okay. So he was your, wow. I like that
Yes.
story. I thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And once again, thank y'all for coming on. I definitely appreciate it. It's been a long time. We always wanted y'all to get on, and this is a perfect opportunity to get y'all both on at the same time. Cause listen, both of y'all supposed to been at our wedding. One came, the other, we was just like, Brother Mark, we was like, where is he? Like, Reggie, I was, where is Brother Mark? What's going on? And then when we found out that he was sick, it was just like, because I
Right.
know you wouldn't miss our wedding. I know you would not miss our wedding. Like, we definitely look up to y'all. And if y'all look around that room, well, Reggie, when you looked around that room and you saw the people that was there, those are people that was really, really dear to our hearts. So
Handpicked
yeah,
individuals.
definitely,
Absolutely.
definitely. So
Yes.
I know something was not right when Brother Mark was not there, but now you here, so we here to ask you some questions. um,
So is the
so
question on me or you? Go
go
ahead.
ahead, you can do it. Bust it out.
Okay. So, like a lot of times, it's people in the community who say, "I want to do something for the youth," or "I want to do something for the streets," or I just want to do something,"
Do
but
something.
they don't know where to start. Like I didn't know where to start. Like what? where did you guys get your start in actually stepping out and doing community work?
Go ahead, Mark.
Well, the truth is that you're not going to get everybody. And one of the things that we say at Harlem Liberation School is that you have to start with the believers. You have to believe, you have to start with those who believe in the direction that you're going in. And you bring those two people together and you create your think tank and say, okay, this is what we want to do for the community. How do we do it? I'll give you an example. When I started out in criminal justice, the Coalition for Parole Restoration, we wanted to get people up to Albany. How did we do that? I put up $100. The attorneys that were able to put up $300 because they got more money than me, and we put our monies together and we say to the community, these buses are free. All you have to do now is get your behinds on it. And so you have to start with the believers, those who believe in what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. And here's one last thing. Marcus Garvey, he wasn't a man of great education, and there are a lot of the doers in our community are people who just wanted to do something. Malcolm X wanted to do something. He wanted to make a change. Fannie Lou Hamer wanted to make a change. And so we have to start with those who believe. We're not going to get everybody, but we got to do, as we say in the Circle of Brothers, the committee of the committed.
The committee, right.
Brother Mark, that's what I love.
The committee of the
let's see. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely.
I believe in that. Like-minded individuals. You know, I got started through other people asking me to help them, and I guess I did it so well that now I had other people that I could ask help me. So it just kept going on like that. I would go to other people and I would say, listen, I got this situation going on. I want to feed this many people. Can you cook something? I got this going on. Can you help serve? Can you make a donation? You know, and then before I knew it, I had a team and they would call themselves Team Reggie. And they would always be willing to come to wherever I would say. Whatever we're doing, I could call up a bunch of team members. And it started like that. I mean, before I know it, because I got voted in by the people. I always like to say that. The people voted me in to where I am in my life. And that's how it happened for me. I just got voted in by the people, and I never stopped doing what I'm doing. And before I knew it, it was this whole big thing. I got involved with Brothers in Recovery, Circle of Brothers, Families United for Solutions, MADGE. Definitely, We Are Phenomenal Women. Of course, we ran hard, right, Shanice?
We did.
In the beginning, we were running hard. We were tired. We were running hard. We never slept, you know?
For real.
Oh, my God. So that's how I got started. Just being voted in by the people. And I work for the people to this day. I work for the people.
Wow. You know, I want to say thank y'all for accepting me in as well, you know, because I met all of y'all through Nat Fisher. And you know, and brother, listen, and then y'all met my husband, who was a part of a march with us.
We dragged them all around. Everywhere we went, we said, "Wait a minute, we got to call up the God I Be." You know, we got, because Shanice would always say, "Get my boyfriend in.
Yeah, get
my
him
boyfriend involved." At the time, he was a boyfriend. Get my boyfriend involved. I said, "Okay, we'll take him. We'll take him. We'll take him. Absolutely." And you guys, man, we knew this day would be coming. We already knew. We already saw this. We saw this in your future, that this would happen, that you would get to this level. We already knew that. And I'm so proud of y'all.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all about to bring tears to my eyes. Woo!
That's right.
Yeah. You know
what?
what?
Flowers now.
Right. And for y'all too. That's why we have y'all here. I do want y'all to know that before the pandemic, and my husband can definitely vouch for this, I brought a whole bunch of awards in here. And I wanted to do a nice gala, and I did send out letters to everyone. I still got the trophies, the awards here. I still want to do that when that time comes. I still want to give y'all from my heart. You're about to get choked up. From my heart to yours, and let y'all know how much I appreciate y'all. Even when my husband and I got into something, y'all was still there. Y'all was calling. Y'all okay? What's going on?
We was gonna jack him up. I told Mark, we need to go over there and jack him up. He ain't messing with my sister like that.
My concern was getting my brother home first.
Yes, absolutely.
absolutely.
Definitely that was the concern.
Right. So I do want to ask, like, y'all did mention all the different organizations that y'all was involved in, but I want to know, how did y'all two meet? Like, that's that is a question. How did y'all
I'm
meet?
going with this one, Mark, first. Me and Mark met on the front lines. And that's all I could say. We met on the front lines somewhere. We were on the front lines, and he was there, and I was there. And the rest is history. Because there's so many other ways that I could say how we met, but we met doing the work.
Yeah.
We met doing the work.
We met doing the work. And what was amazing is that I knew his brother, Billy Mitchell,
Mr.
but
Apollo.
I not know that was his brother.
His brother.
I have family come from the islands. I have family come from Miami 20 years ago, and they still talk about cousin Mark, take me to the Apollo. They take me to the Apollo. I get on the stage. I learned the whole history. All of that was brother Mr. Apollo himself. I not know that these two amazing brothers were brothers. So yeah, we met on the front lines.
That's right.
Doing the work in the community.
And I just gravitated towards him. He gravitated towards me, and we had the radio show together. And he had his show with Haja. I had my show. We would see each other in the studios, and we would talk. And he would come over to me, and he would say, "Listen, I need you to get this person on my show," and blah blah blah. And we just met doing the work. And he got me involved with Shanice, and got that coveted award. Don't worry, the God I be. Yours is coming, brother. You were supposed to be on that stage, but the COVID kind of knocked that down. Mark, brother. Yeah. So that's how me and brother Mark met on the front lines, and we haven't stopped yet.
I want everybody to know, when they say Shanice, they talking about Sister Star, Shanice Star. She does every year, and my husband and I was able to be a part of that one year, and it was so. I talked about it for days. I was telling people about it, like, yo, this. Oh my God, this woman just gave all Black beautiful men the awards for all the great work they do. This is what we need to do. I bigged up that event so much that everybody was like, what? We even bought our ticket that night.
That's right. You sure did.
We bought our ticket that night for the following year. That's right. And like you said, when people believe in something that you're doing, they will put that time and that work in, or pay for wherever they need to pay for that day. That's so big ups to Shanice Starr for doing what she did, and have been doing it, and she's still doing it. Peace to her.
One thing that really sticks out to me about Uncle Mark, right, is that whenever he gets up to speak, he does not speak about himself.
He talk about everybody.
He's always going to talk about everybody in the room, and everybody who's supposed to be in the room that maybe could not have made it that day. He talks about all the organizations that people are involved in and the work that they do. And I think that's so awesome to be selfless like that. So one thing I want to know is, like, with these organizations that you guys, and you guys are involved in a lot of organizations, what are the missions of these organizations? Like, what are they specific niches? So if somebody does want to get involved with something, they'll know which organization they should reach out to y'all and get involved with.
Well, one of the things that I can say, starting with Harlem Liberation School, the purpose was to bring light to our people, and we use an acronym called WAKUSO, which we got from Brother Minister Malcolm. That is wake up, clean up, and stand up. And so that was the mission of the organization, also to teach political education, because a lot of times our community, we're not educated politically. We don't understand propaganda. Families United for Solution was a platform that was designed to encompass the family, not just the elders, and not just, you know, our children, but to bring people together and talk about the solutions. The Michelle Obama Democratic Club was an opportunity for the community to see what could be done on the democratic level to bring communities together, those who so love Obama, but Michelle was the power behind Mr. Obama. So, brothers, we cannot get it twisted. Behind every powerful man is a beautiful black sister guiding the way. And so I'm going to move on to Harlem Emergency Network. Harlem Emergency Network. We talk about the disparities. We talk about community preparedness. We talk about things that you should have in your home. There are people in our community who don't have as much as a flashlight, let alone batteries. So when something like the pandemic comes along, you go to the 99-cent store and you want to get some hand sanitizer. That dollar hand sanitizer is now $8.
Right.
But if you had those things on hand ahead of time, you would be prepared. And so it's about being prepared. We just had a rainstorm. There are people who got flooded out. The Harlem Emergency Network will teach you things that you need to know in case you need to shelter in place. And also what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring our community together for the betterment of not just the community, but for our children as well. And that has been the mission thread that runs through all of those organizations, starting with the Circle of Brothers, starting with my brother Akil Rose, who was a detrimental part. He always believed in the community. He always said, whatever we need, brother, brother's going to work it out. And the community is going to see that we have the food, that we have the location, so that we can have our summit, so that we can have our Kwanzaa event. He was a brother who believed in the power of the community. And that is what made my brother great. He was able to come together with atheists. He was able to come together with Muslims, Christians, and even the place on 125th Street.
The Scientology.
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 Yes, we did
That
work there.
brother
Yes.
was able to bring all those different factions together. And when we marched in those parades, regardless of what organization you may belong to, we had one leader, and that leader was Akil Rose, my brother for life.
Yes. Listen.
Do I need to say anything? But I will. Wow. Mark just hit it right on the head
Right
with the
on
various
it, right.
organizations. Brothers in Recovery promotes healthy awareness, healthy relationships. We deal in substance misuse, mental health issues. We try to bring some kind of awareness to the men that we get, because we get men in, like their wives may call us up, their mothers may call us up, their daughters may call us and say, listen, my brother, my husband, my uncle is not acting right. How can y'all help him? So we'll do one-on-one counseling. We'll do support groups. We do spiritual retreats. But our mission is to inspire, and encourage,
That's right.
folks. So we do stuff like that, as with our latest community cookout that we just did along with Circle of Brothers and Fuss We just did our latest community cookout where we gave away school supplies, free food to the community. Uh, when we talk about the radio show, WHCR 90.3 FM, that's also a subsidiary of Brothers in Recovery. And we promote, we give folks a platform. You guys have been on the show.
Yes.
We give folks a platform in our own community because sometimes you need a larger platform to say what you got to say. So we deal with that. And then when I deal with the Boys and Girls Club up in the Bronx with my man Doc, we getting the youth off the streets. We're doing youth forums. We're feeding them. We're giving them incentives. We have major guest speakers. We're going to have Mark Grelin as one of our guest speakers this Saturday, the 25th, up in the Bronx at our youth summit. So we get different speakers. We bring awareness. We had a guy one time teach them how to tie a tie. Teach them how to dress for an interview. So these are all the various things that we bring to our communities. And it's a labor of love. It's not a paid gig. See, so if you're looking to get paid from this, you can forget about it. You have to be willing to do this because you believe in the cause. You actually really want to roll up your sleeves and get on the ground and do what you got to do. Grassroots, boots on the ground.
There you go.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. So I want to say to anyone who is watching, and we see that you're watching because you're making comments, I need you to please share this because listen, this is history. These brothers right here, I forget what I ate a couple of days ago. I mean, for y'all to go back, this is history. This is history belong to our community. And we need to hear these things because like, for example, my husband and I went to Brother Mark's house and we sat there and listened to him tell us different stories and show us pictures. And it just felt good because those are the things without any negative, anything mean or disrespect. Oh, this person, no, he had all positive things to say about everybody. And I mean, Brother Reggie, we ain't come to your house yet, but we will. But anyway.
Brother Mark has been to my house. Brother Mark been to my house. Well, you guys got to come on up here, okay? You're always in the neighborhood. You're always in the neighborhood. Never get to stop by and ring my bell.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I know that if we sat in your living room, we will have our mouths open like, oh my God, because this is what we need to hear. This is what we need to get back to. Knowing our history of the community, and it feels so good to have y'all here and talk about these things. But I want to know from right now, like, where do y'all go from here? What's the next steps? Steps?
Right now, the next step is to continue to fight, continue to work, continue to work. The work doesn't stop. I mean, maybe we're on the podcast right now, and today's Sunday. I just happen to have a day off, but I generally don't get days off. The work doesn't stop. I'm getting ready to get involved with this mentoring program, 100 youth, 100 Black youth. They're sponsored by 100 Black men. They have a mentoring program. So I'm going to start being a mentor to some of these mentees. It doesn't stop. I got my annual Thanksgiving feeding that will be coming up in November on Thanksgiving Day.
Right.
So look out for that. The Kwanzaa event, definitely a huge event. That's coming up. That's going to be on the
26th.
26th, absolutely, which is a Sunday now. First day of Kwanzaa is a Sunday this year, Brother Mark. So that's coming up. And the work continues. It doesn't stop. This is a labor of love. This is something that I love doing because, these organizations, some of these organizations helped me out when I was a kid, like the Boys and Girls Club, the PAL, the youth centers. So it doesn't stop. That's where I go from here.
Got you. Okay, well, I got these book bags.
Yes, we'll make it happen.
We're going to make it happen. Good. Got to put back. Yes.
Yeah, so you hear Reggie talk about the Kwanzaa event. That's the next big thing that's happening. And so we're trying to find out how many vendors that we can have. We know that there are some people in our community that need to make money. That money needs to be recirculated back into the Black community. And so we're trying to find out how many vendors that we can have, and who can we bring
That's
to
right.
be vendors. And I think also I need to say this. I am so proud of your growth, especially Brother Ali. We watched him go from the back of the room and to the front of the room.
You say
And we
that, Brother
wanted,
Moss. That's
and
right.
we wanted that for our sisters who
Yes,
started their organizations for our sons.
that's right.
And so if it was a perfect world without COVID, and when we wanted to watch those sisters to ascend, and the only thing that we ask, and you've already been doing it, is that just as Reggie and I have used our platform, whether it be the radio station, whether it be Sister Talk Television, or any
That's right.
other Harlem Liberation School, where We Are Phenomenal Women come in and do an all women event
Yes.
a few
Yes.
years ago.
Mhm.
We ask that you continue to use your platform because it's not about me. I might not be here tomorrow. And so may the life that I live
Pass the torch.
speak for itself. Like
That's
my
right.
brother Akil Rose, I go to the hospital tomorrow for check on my kidney. And
Mm.
so I often say it's not about me. A great person in criminal justice, Eddie Ellis, he
Yes.
sat us down many years ago and he said, brothers and sisters, your job as a criminal justice advocate is to inspire the next generation.
That's right.
So we have the Johnny Perez, we
Mhm.
have the God
Yes.
Ali,
Mhm.
God.
Mhm.
We got that brother. We
Mhm.
got Sister Tahiba Vane,
Mhm.
and some of them that I call by name who were able to sit at the feet of some of these great people like I have.
Mhm.
And so our job is to inspire. I sat on Brother Michael Sledge, our CTV
Oh,
brother.
yes.
He has
Absolutely.
a Sledge mentoring group. One of the young men, Manny, was on our
That's our youth
solution
summit.
and survival. And
Mhm.
so Brother Haja is 74 years old,
Wow.
and we are up in age. But I would like to see the day, and this brother don't know it. You are part of the circle of brothers, Brother Ali, whether you know it or not. You have been inducted and drafted.
Yes.
But we need to inspire those young people. You hear Reggie talk about the mentoring group that he's about to go into. Those young brothers at the at the boys club. We need to begin to groom those young men for
That's right.
leadership. And
Mhm.
hopefully one day that they would be able to lead an organization like the Circle of Brothers, that the young people now learn from all of us, including you, my sister, because Brother Sledge has his wife
Doing
Mhm.
teaching the,
the female
the
part, the
ladies.
sisters part. Right.
Right.
That's right.
So
Mhm.
part of the We Are Phenomenal Women are teaching the women about domestic violence, but at the same time, sister, look at the bigger picture, my dear. You
Mhm.
are grooming leadership.
That's
And
right.
one day you're going to have to pass the baton to those young sisters. And so I say the next step is that we begin to groom those young brothers so that
Mhm.
they be in position of leadership and they understand that leadership is not always about boosting us, because
Mhm.
I know brothers and sisters in criminal justice, they won't show up to an event unless they the keynote speaker.
Mhm.
Or if you got this one coming, why you ask me?
Mhm.
There's room for everybody.
Everybody. Mhm.
And so we have to check our ego at the door, and we have to begin to include others in the conversation and propel them. I have to lift them up because, like Martin Luther King, I might not get there with you, but I want to see our people succeed. And in the words of my brother, Ajay Taimba of Harlem
Ajay
Liberation
Taimba.
School, he would say, if we do this, brothers and sisters, together we will win.
There you go.
There you go.
Definitely
Ooh, drop
appreciate
the
that.
mic.
Word
the
up.
mic.
That's
Yeah,
like woo.
Drop the
yeah.
mic.
Wow.
I don't think it's really no follow up.
Now you know why I
Yeah,
love the brother so much and why I always hang around him. And whenever he calls, I come.
That's
There's
right.
more knowledge.
There
Woo.
you go. I'm telling
Go ahead,
you.
brother.
It's
To
Oh,
true.
God, I be.
one thing I
Sorry.
will say is this, right? And you spoke about, this next generation
Hmm.
of brothers that's going to carry on the torch. What, what exactly do you see the direction that we need to go into, and what would you like to see in this next generation? Like, we've done things that have been productive and things that have caused progress, and some of the things that we're doing may be repetitive at this point. What do you think that would be the best direction that our next generation of activists, advocates, leaders, mentors, all of these people that is in this next generation coming up, what should they be doing, and what do you want to see in them?
Well, for me personally, well, I shouldn't say personally, but for me, I like to see them bring it home. Bring it home to their own backyards. It's one thing that you're out there and you're raising your fists and you're doing everything for everybody else. But what about your own home? Your own
Hmm.
home may be a disaster.
Mm.
Your own young sons or daughters may be just sitting around and you haven't done anything with them because you're so busy running out there to do something for everybody else.
Hmm.
So teach it at home. Teach it at home because the way things are going now, our kids may not get back to school. You have to set up something at home. You have to go back to having dinner at the table with your family at home.
There you go.
We lost
Hmm.
that. Stop
Yeah.
letting our young people run around and do whatever they want. Take the
Hmm.
phone away
Hmm.
sometimes,
Hmm.
and have a real conversation. I teach that to my son all the time. I say, listen, you guys got to have a night or two where you'll sit down and have a conversation. So that's worked out for him. So because I raised three sons in Harlem and the Bronx,
Hmm.
and they're grown men now, and they have integrity and they're doing really well in their life because they had an opportunity to see me do what I do.
Right.
But I didn't grow up like that.
Right.
Okay. So I can't, but I like to see that. I like to see it brought back home.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah. I like to see that young people take care of their health.
Mm,
We talk
Hmm.
about the health disparities, and a lot of it begins at home. A
mhm.
lot of it begins with our young mothers, and a lot of it is economic in nature. You walk into the neighborhood bodega and you only got $1. That sweet cake by Little Debbie's for 50 cents. That's what you're going to gravitate to because that's what you know. But we
Right.
have to begin to teach these babies, when the baby is 1 and 2 years old, stop putting that in their mouth. Give them some
Hmm.
vegetables.
Hmm.
Mm,
Okay. Teach them to take care of their health.
Hmm.
Also, we have to recognize that the paradigm has now changed. We can no longer tell our young people to go to school and get a good job. Education always going to be the key. But going to school to get a good education,
correct.
to work 40 hours
Hours
for 40 years,
and
to
get a watch.
retire on 40% of what we made, that's no longer the paradigm. You don't
Right.
have to wait until you're 40 years old to have your own business.
That's
We
right.
have to put that in them now. We have to teach them to be merchants as opposed to consumers.
There you
And
go.
then lastly, we have to teach that my yesterday doesn't doesn't dictate my tomorrow. In
Amen to
other
that.
words, and brother, you are a living example because I went to jail yesterday, because I had issues with the law, because I wasn't a good parent, because I walked away from my family years ago. That's not who I am today. That
Hmm.
doesn't define me. And so
Hmm.
we cannot let we have to teach our young people not to let nobody beat you up for the
Hmm.
mistakes that you made yesterday. Yeah, that was 20 years ago. But today I'm involved with the Circle of Brothers. Today I'm part of We Are Phenomenal Women. Today I'm part of the all family of alternatives. I'm doing things and I'm bringing tools and resources to my community. Why? Because I'm trying to put the power back into the hands of those who are around me. And that's one of the things that Sister Shanice teaches, is that we have to use tools and resources to bring people back to their own power and let them know that you are a resource, that you are powerful. And Jesse Jackson said when I was a young boy, I am somebody.
Amen
And
to that.
to remind these young people, just because you was a victim of domestic violence, you are not a victim forever. You can turn that victim to a victory. And that's why God put you through the test, so that you have a testimony.
That's
And
right. I
I'm
say
going to
that all the
leave it
time.
right there.
I say that all the time. That makes
That's right.
that was another drop the mic moment. Listen, y'all are bringing the tools, y'all bringing that source, y'all bringing that information, y'all are bringing it, and I definitely appreciate it 100%. But I want to let anybody and everybody know, if you want to call in and just ask a question or just give your opinion or share your moments with the two brothers. The number is 347-450-6397. And once again, share. This is, I never said it before, but I'm saying it today. Share. This information is helpful for, this is food for your soul. This is food. Okay. People go to church for their food, they spiritual food. This is food for your soul. And give back to your community. Understand what community is. Some of us don't even know what it is no more. So I mean, I've been a Harlem Night forever years. I never even, I said the same thing. I am going to be somebody. When I heard Jesse Jackson give that speech, I said, I'm going to be somebody. I didn't know what that somebody was, but I am somebody. And a lot of us don't even think of ourselves as somebody important. We are very much important. And listen, we took our stimulus check and turn it into an I Am Phenomenal Unlimited LLC. We took both our money together and made something great. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I mean, come on. We're not even into all the $500 pair of shoes and all this and all this. No, we want to build something. We want to make something. We got children that we want to leave stuff behind. I even tell my grandson, you are going to be Mama Niece, because he called me Mama Niece. You are going to be Mama Niece boss at the shelter. He was like looking at me like, I'm putting that in him now. I'm putting that in him now because I want him to also be somebody. My daughter, she's 26 years old. I taught her as much as I can. I tell her about going to school. But listen, she's 26. I could show her better than I could tell her. So I went back and got my master's right after my husband got his master's. So teamwork made the dream work. We want to show our children that we can make a difference. Yesterday I was looking at houses online. My grandson says, Mama needs those houses are expensive, because he saw the 529. He said those houses are expensive. So he knows. He is 6 years old and he knows. So once again, anybody would like to call in, 347.
We
Oh,
got a
we got a
caller.
caller. Okay.
Peace caller, state your name and where you calling from.
Hello, my name is Rakim Loverlaw, and I just want to say that I'm calling from Brooklyn right now because I'm on my job. And I just want to big up to all the brothers and sisters out there in the struggle, and especially the advocacy that went on behind getting the bill passed called More, Less is More. This bill
Yes.
was just the other day by the governor, and it eliminated a lot of these violations that were being perpetrated upon black and brown brothers and sisters by the parole system. And
Mm.
to see that a lot of them is gone. And I congratulate and salute the brothers and sisters that advocated and really pushed to get that bill passed. Thank you.
Oh wow.
That's
Thank
peace.
you
Peace
for
to the
calling.
God.
Thank
Peace
you.
to the God. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
calling in. Brother Rakim, you still there? Oh, I think he left. Peace to him, though, man. Thanks for calling in so much. Yo, listen, we are streaming live on Speak Your Mind podcast with the Allis on YouTube, right? So please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. You can catch us at Speak Your Mind podcast with the Allis on YouTube. You can also catch us at I Am Phenomenal Unlimited LLC. Please like our page on Facebook at I Am Phenomenal Unlimited LLC. I also stream this on my Facebook page. That's the God IB DAGODIBE on Facebook. The reason why I put it on my Facebook page is because a lot of people are on my Facebook page, so I make sure that people can see it, and then I try to steer them to our YouTube page. But we have another caller.
All right.
It's Rakim Loverlaw calling back.
Okay.
One. To send a voice.
Peace, God, peace. Yo, listen, I see that you put on in the comments that you know Brother Reggie, I think. Is that true?
Yes. I met Brother Reggie in Albany a long time ago.
Yes, sir.
And we met a couple of times at the alumni meeting.
Yes, sir.
Oh wow.
We're both doing that. We're doing that peer advocacy work.
Okay, that's peace. That's peace, man. Thank you so much for.
Yes, sir.
Well, listen, Brother Rakim, the God, peace.
Yes, God.
Listen, I want to come out there. I know you invited me a couple different times to come out there to your barbecue, but we've been so busy. It's been so many things going on. Whenever you do have another event in the future, I definitely want to come out there. So please keep me in mind and don't think that I slighted you. All right?
No, God. I know you busy. I've been keeping up with you all the brothers. And y'all got to forgive my absence right now, but I'm trying to get that master's degree like y'all did.
That's right.
It's a lot of work. Thank
all right,
you.
Thank you for calling in. Peace, and I'll see you soon. All right. Peace.
Well, thank you. Wow.
This right here, this interview right here is gonna go down in history, man. There's a lot of people that's gonna look back to this interview. So I'm gonna cut it up. Once I get my editing skills a little better, I'm gonna cut up this interview and I'm gonna put just the interview as one stream, and then the beginning part is another stream, and then maybe cut up different portions so that we can place little portions up at a time. Because I noticed one thing today, like a lot of people who have these podcasts, they will cut up a different section that speaks to a specific point, because a lot of people can't even take information overload at this point. It's just a little bit, just give them a little 5 minutes, and then if they want some more, then they'll go and get the rest of it.
Yes,
So
sir.
I got to get my editing skills a little better. We had tried to get, what is the name of that place down there that
Eminem.
Yeah, they have some schools on podcasting and all of that. So we want to get up in there, and they don't cost a lot. They really don't cost a lot, but it shows you how to actually do the technical aspects of this thing. And we want to take this thing to the next level, because this is for the community, right? We're not doing this for us. We're not doing it. We're not monetized. We're not doing anything for that. We're taking time out of our schedule so people in the community can speak their mind about the different things. And also, we want to be able to give flowers to our elders, because I don't know if Noriega and Drink Champs was the first ones to start talking about giving people their flowers, but they wanted to give flowers to people in the hip hop community that were, the beginning of the founders of the hip hop community and those who have 10 or more years. But we want to give flowers to people that do the things we do, that like community work. Right, because a lot of them are not spoken about, and people are saying, okay, well, why isn't anybody doing something about this? They don't even know that Brother Mark has been doing something about this for over 20 years, and Brother Reggie has been doing something about this, and Queen Shanice has been doing something about this. It's people out here every day that's putting their life's work and life blood on the line just to get these things done in the community, right? And this is what causes community cohesion. So we definitely want to give you brothers your flowers, and you'll definitely be at that awards dinner where we could give you something more substantial.
Yes. I cannot wait. I already had it all in my head until COVID just took over the whole situation. But I mean, it's still gonna happen. I still want to do the gala. I appreciate y'all 100%. And there's so many other people that I want to give awards to from my heart to, from We Are Phenomenal Woman to everybody else. So with that, I say peace.
All right, peace to y'all. Yo, thank you for coming on once again, and I hope to see y'all soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, y'all stay healthy. Make sure y'all go out there, get y'all some smoothies, some fruits, some vegetables, eat some healthy stuff for the day. And you know what? I think we're gonna have a better year next year.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Speak it, brother.
I think we're going to have a better
No
year
think.
next year.
No
And
think. We are.
We're gonna be back together, and we're gonna get back to doing the things that we like to do and the things that we have to do. Just wait. Trust me. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Y'all have any closing thoughts?
Well, I want to thank Speak Your Mind podcast with the Allis for having me and Brother Mcphee on. I really enjoyed it. I really hope that I could do this again. But I'm going to give out some information real quick. If you feel the need to want to get involved, I could always use someone. You can reach me at Facebook, Reggie Mitchell. You can reach me on Instagram at Reggie Mitchell, or you can reach me on my email, which is rmitchell125@gmail.com. That's rmitchell125@gmail.com, or you could just reach out to me on Facebook. Send me a message on Facebook, Reggie Mitchell on Facebook.
Thank you.
I want to say that, first of all, I want to thank you for allowing me an opportunity, despite the stroke, my voice getting stronger.
Yes.
So I appreciate having this forum. My CTV brother, Michael Sledge, and his mentoring group always ends with affirmation. So my affirmation is, a mind is a terrible thing to waste, so keep a positive thought. And as Brother Reggie said, that we're going to be putting together our Kwanzaa event, and we're going to be asking the community to donate to us.
That's right.
So if you like to make a monetary donation, or even if you want to cook some collard greens or something to donate, a food donation, you can contact myself or Brother Reggie. You can reach out to me on my Facebook page. And with that being said and done, I love you both. I love all three of you. And I appreciate this opportunity to address our community. And for the community, we have to be open to information. We have to be open to learn something new, because tools and resources are passing and we will never know about it if we only thinking about the party and the hanging out. We have tools. Sister Shanice Starr has always said the resources is in the room. So when I go to these events, I tell people we have organizations such as Madge Mentoring. We have organizations such as Brothers in Recovery. We have organizations such as We Are Phenomenal Women in the room. And so when we bring our resources together, and I'll say one last thing because I know now I'm on a roll. I get a call from the God Ali, and he said, we have a situation going on with our book bags. I didn't put Brother Reggie on the call. I make a telephone call to our assemblywoman. She said, I got a box of book bags for you. I make a phone call to Senator Perkins' office, and they say, well, you be here tomorrow, and we have 5 boxes of school supplies for you. That is because of the relationship. And so we have to continue to have a relationship with one another, because between the 3 of us brothers on here, we got it done. And it wasn't just through us, but it was through our connections to others in the community, such as Assemblywoman Carmen De La Rosa and Senator Councilman Bill Perkins. And so we must not forget, and Brother Tiny from the Black Spades. It's about us coming together and working in concert and coalition with one another. There is strength in unity, and we have to stay strong. Let us never be divided. We may disagree, but let us agree on the things that we can, so that we can move forward, not for the benefit of self, but for the benefit of those that we claim to care about and love. And that I say, peace.
Well, thank
Peace.
you. Thank y'all so
That you
much.
say peace.
I want to say definitely apologize again for the book bag situation. And it was just, it hurt in my heart. And my husband know, when I say I'm going to do something and it didn't come through, I was upset. And I was like, please handle it. I don't even know what to say right now. And it was out of my control. I reached out to Brother Reggie. He said, listen, things happen.
Yes.
And we're going to make it happen. And I just sat back and listen.
And you still got an honorable mention at the community cookout, because I still had to honorably mention you and your husband. So it worked out well. We're going to find a way to deal with those book bags. You just,
we got
hold
it.
on to them.
Yeah,
Don't
of
give
course.
them all away.
No, not at all. Yeah, I want to say on this live right now, I apologize, but it was out of my control. So.
Okay.
So before we leave, I just want to shout out everybody that checked in. Salute to Nasha Gatewood, sister. Peace to you. Salute to
sister.
Catherine Marrow. Salute to my brother, Catherine Marrow from Harlem. She's out here. Peace to her. She always checking in. Peace to my brother, James Matane, calling in all the way from Kenya, Africa.
What?
The brother's checking in from Kenya, Africa, man. This is definitely a peace day. Also salute to my brother Lorenzo Brooks, aka Rakim God Allah, and please to my brother Shakur, aka Charles Russell Clink, for checking in. And I believe that's it. But definitely, man, it was a great interview. And thank you, brothers, again. And I will see y'all soon. We'll be doing some great work in the community. And yo, I love y'all, brothers, man.
Peace.
Oh,
love you
can
too.
I say one more shout out to you guys?
Sure.
Thank you for the shoes.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
Whatever you need.
We had 76 or 77?
76 or I'm not sure. One of those.
Look, I'm gonna say 77. 77 pairs of 77 bags of shoes.
That's
of
right.
25 pairs of shoes. Listen, thank y'all so much, everybody who participated. My sister from PA gave shoes. Like, shoes was coming in all directions. Delaware, it was just shoes. We had a storage unit that just covered. I mean, shoes were just falling from the top. Oh my goodness. It was just so much. I want to thank everybody and thank y'all. Reggie came with 2 boxes. 2 boxes. I
That's
mean,
right.
listen.
I needed the God Ali to come get those things. They were heavy.
All right.
Brother Mark, he was collecting them too. Listen. This is what we mean, community. So what we did was we didn't get the money yet, but I took money from my pocket and we are Phenomenal Woman pocket and bought the book bags. So with that being said, We have work to do. We got work to do. It's all good. I appreciate my community. Harlem been me forever, ever. So let's keep going. Let's keep rising. Listen, I'm all with it. Thank y'all. Peace.
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 Peace. Brought to you by I Am Phenomenal Unlimited. This is the Speak Your Mind podcast, hosted by the Queen, Shanice Gatewood Ali, and the God I Be. Speak your mind and open line.